Hello, everyone, and thank you for taking the time to join us today. I wanted to welcome you to Babies and Sleep, hosted by Motherhood Uncovered. We are so excited to have you with us here to learn more about this much anticipated topic. I'm sure many of you experienced parents out there have most likely heard the following comment, but let me warn you, first-time parents, that shortly after you have your child and bring them home, people will begin to ask you if your child is sleeping through the night. It's inevitable. You're going to hear it. So Sarah and I felt this topic was a must-have, and we cannot wait to present it to you. But first, let me fill you in on the logistics for today's webinar. You may ask questions by leaving comments on the YouTube page below. We will attempt to address them during and after the presentation if we run out of time, so please check back with us. Leaving a question also gets you another entry for the giveaway, so ask away, ladies. Also, feel free to email questions to Sarah and I. Both of our emails are listed there on the page for you. And make sure you connect with either Sarah Wells Bags or NizAware on social media, because next month is Breastfeeding Awareness Month, and both Sarah and I are doing some crazy giveaways you are not going to want to miss. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that at the end of the presentation, so make sure you're connected. Lastly, this video webinar will be forever archived at the same link, and you can rewatch it, share it with friends, embed it in your blog or your website. So feel free to comment and share away. Next, I'm going to talk to you a quick minute and let you know what Motherhood Uncovered is and who the people are behind it. So I'm Nicole Zollner, founder and CEO of NizAware Nursing Bras, and I've joined forces with the wonderful Sarah Wells from Sarah Wells Bags to form this collaboration. Our mutual goal is to connect new and expectant moms with experts who can share straightforward and helpful information regarding all topics motherhood. We aim to cover a wide range of topics in this series that moms want to talk about but may not always hear about, or sometimes may not even know to ask about. Both Sarah and I are mothers ourselves, so we've been on this new motherhood phase of our lives. So it gives us a good basis for these topics, but ultimately we are doing this for all of you. So please post your comments and questions below, as we love hearing from you. And while we do have personal experience with this whole motherhood thing, we are not experts on every topic, which is why we have hand-selected the very best in their fields to interview for you so that you can get the most accurate and up-to-date information. We really hope you enjoyed today's topic, and if you missed any of our previous presentations, you can check them out on our website, motherhooduncovered.com. Next, I'm going to introduce myself, and I'm just going to switch to my face here. There you go. Hopefully you can all see me. Hello, everyone. As I said before, I am the CEO and founder of NizAware Nursing Bras, the only nursing bra with a patented healing pocket. And our pocket holds a couple different features. First, it holds a molded pad. And this pad provides mom a little lining when they want it, but also gives them the ability to take it out when they don't. Which is a great feature. We love to give moms options because we all love them, right? The second thing that this pocket does is it allows you to put a warm or cool pack in there to help with any breastfeeding discomfort you might encounter, which is recommended by medical professionals. The idea from NizAware came from my personal experience breastfeeding my son. And it was uncomfortable for me, so I wanted to help other people out and give them the best product out there. So if you want to check out our website, and that will give you some more information about our products. And to hear more about our story, you can check it out there as well. Now I want to introduce my Motherhood Uncovered co-founder, Miss Sarah Wells from Sarah Wells Bags.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Wells of Sarah Wells Breast Pump Bags. So happy to be here this morning or afternoon, depending on where you are in the country. I wanted to tell you just a little bit about myself. I founded this company, this small business, because of my own frustration when I went back to work after maternity leave, carrying an ugly, very ugly, black nylon bag from a pump manufacturer that was also really inefficient. I kind of looked a little bit like a pack mule walking down the streets of Washington, D.C. with 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 bags even some days. And so I thought there just had to be a better way, and so I designed a stylish, functional, discreet breast pump bag. I just launched last fall, and it's just so exciting to be in the small business community and out there talking to moms, and I'm so pleased to be partnered up with Nicole on Motherhood Uncovered. I'd love for you to check out my bags. They're available at sarahwellsbags.com or on amazon.com, so thank you so much for that. Next, I'm actually going to tell you about our awesome giveaway. So we are giving away for this event today a Baby Hug Innovative Baby Blanket by Silly Monkey Baby. It's valued at $39, and I think on the PowerPoint you can see their website. I actually had a first-hand experience getting to see the Baby Hug at MommyCon Chicago and to meet the Silly Monkey Baby CEO and founder, Anna, and she is actually here with us today to tell us a little bit about her company. So Anna, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Great. Thank you. My name is Anna Pieta. I am the founder of Silly Monkey Baby. I created the Baby Hug, which is this, probably about 4 years ago with my mom. We made it out of necessity. You know, having a newborn, it was always so hard to hold them, and there was wibbling and wobbling, the heads rolling back. So we had actually made it for, my mom first started off with giving us blankets to put the baby on anytime someone came over. And slowly my mom, 5 kids later, super creative, thought of a blanket, and she put a cushion back here. So the cushion actually creates a surface for the baby to rest on, and it also, there's numerous flaps in here, which simplifies swaddling. And so this is what it is now. It took us about 4 years, different strategies, different ways. We do have a patent on it. It does come in 2 different colors, the pink and the blue. Retails for $39, but gets rave reviews. Great for moms after a C-section because the weight of the baby gets dispersed, so mom can actually pick up the baby by herself without needing additional assistance. Great for siblings, grandparents, wonderful for holding, for passing, for nursing a baby, for everything. So here it is. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really excited to be here.
Thanks so much, Anna. I really appreciate it. And just wanted to remind everybody that just simply by registering for today's event, you've been automatically entered to win a Baby Hug. And if you'd like to earn some additional entries, you need to go onto Ms. Aware Nursing Bras or Sarah Wells Breast Pump Bags Facebook pages, like, comment, share our posts about motherhood and covered events, or if you would like to leave a comment or question on the YouTube page for today's event, that will also earn you some of those additional entries. So thanks again, Anna. Love your product, and we're so excited to see who gets to win one this week. We'll draw for the winner at the end of the week. So on to the Babies and Sleep presentation. We are in for such a treat. We have Michaela Williamson, Corporate Communications Director for Let Mommy Sleep, here with us today to talk about this topic. As Nicole said, I honestly think this may be the topic for new parents. For expecting new parents, maybe like the topmost worry is what the heck is going to happen with my sleep? Is my baby going to sleep? How am I ever going to survive not having as much sleep as I was used to before? So I think we all could use a few extra winks, and I'm excited that we have Michaela here to talk to us a little bit more about what to expect and what some of the thoughts are on babies and sleep. So let me introduce her with her bio. Michaela Williamson is the Corporate Communications Director for Let Mommy Sleep, the leading baby nurse agency in the greater Washington, D.C. metro area, here where I am as well, so they're just neighbors down the street. Let Mommy Sleep employs only registered nurses and clinically trained caregivers, providing evidence-based education and badly needed rest to parents struggling in the early days of parenthood. The company has garnered local and national media attention. In addition to her role at Let Mommy Sleep, she also serves as the Vice President of Mission Sleep, the nonprofit arm of Let Mommy Sleep, which provides free overnight care to military families where a partner is deployed, wounded, or deceased at the time of baby's arrival. And as a side note, I wanted to remind everyone that's listening live today that for every registration that was made for today's event, NISO-Wear Nursing Bras and Sarah Wells Breast Pump Bags will donate $1 to Mission Sleep. So not only are you getting some great information today, but you can know that you contributed back to a great cause simply by registering to be with us. So I am so excited to welcome Michaela. I'm hoping she'll kick things off by telling us just a few more words about Mission Sleep and, of course, Let Mommy Sleep as well. Thank you, Michaela.
Hi, thank you. Well, we're so grateful for this donation. Mission Sleep is providing free overnight care to military families, mostly in the Washington, D.C. area where a parent is wounded, deployed, or deceased at time of baby's arrival. And we'll have a nurse go into the home and provide overnight care to give that family some relief. And it's a great charity because there really is no overhead. Most of the money that we raise is literally going to pay for the baby care, which makes it great. And yeah, Let Mommy Sleep. We are located in the D.C., Northern Virginia, Maryland area, A lot of what we do is transition babies from hospital to home, provide care and education to the family, overnight care. We do a lot of workshops, speaking engagement, and media engagements as well. So I think we're ready to start.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Michaela. All right, so we'll jump into the PowerPoint.
Okay, well, the first thing that I wanted to do was address common sleep myths in babies. The first one is now a lot more commonly known. It's not suggested to put rice cereal into baby's bottle. We hear from parents, grandparents, oh, we added rice cereal to the bottle and it helped baby sleep longer. Yes, a full stomach might help baby sleep longer, but it is a choking hazard, and a lot of the times that this is introduced is around the 8 to 12 week mark, where naturally baby might start sleeping through the night a little bit longer too. Another myth that we hear is to use these gas drops. They are not that effective. Studies after studies show that the placebo is just as effective as the gas drops. What is effective is slow feeds and burps. You will hear me saying lots and lots today about burping the babies. Parents really do need to make that time commitment, especially with the young babies, in the middle of the feeding and after the feeding, to properly burp the baby. And we have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/LetMommySleepUSA, where we have one of our nurses demonstrating different positions and ways to burp a baby to really work out that extra air, extra gas that does make baby wake up and feel uncomfortable. So that is much more highly suggested over using the drops. One of the myths is putting baby to bed later means baby is going to wake up later. We know early to bed, early to rise. Late to bed is also early to rise when it comes to babies too. This is fighting against their natural rhythm. It might work for a nap or a bedtime or two, but really babies need to be in the habit of of doing nighttime sleep. And that leads me to the next myth about good sleepers don't wake up at night. I consider myself a pretty good sleeper, and I do wake up at night. I can also take a long time to fall asleep. This is true for babies too. Babies are human. They take time to go to sleep, and they also might wake up in the middle of the night. That doesn't deem them good or bad. There's also changes such as teething, reaching developmental milestones like sitting up or walking, pulling up, separation anxiety that baby might wake up for during the night. The key is just consistency with the routine and getting all those calories in during the day. That is going to make a difference. A big thing that we run into a lot with babies and sleep are, well, my baby has reflux, so it's difficult for my baby to sleep for a prolonged period of time. We have some tips that are brought from our nurses and from lactation consultants and pediatricians that are going to help baby feel a little bit more comfortable and be able to rest easier. One big tip is to keep the baby elevated while feeding, or feed in more of a seated position. Burping the baby, again, I'm going to mention burping, burping, burping a million times during this presentation. And then also doing smaller, more frequent feedings. That does mean that you're not going to be able to sleep for as long of a period of a time. But if you're doing the smaller, more frequent feedings, baby's system will eventually mature and baby will eventually sleep for a longer period of time. If baby's bottle fed too, to avoid swallowing that extra air, you want to make sure that baby's bottle is filled up with milk all the way up the nipple line. And also colic drops. Talk to your pediatrician about this, but sometimes babies, their systems cannot break down the lactose properly, the lactose enzyme in milk. So these drops might be necessary for a little more comfort to help baby rest better too. So how do you get your baby to sleep through the night? We don't like to talk about sleep training when we're talking about young babies. We like to talk more about sleep helping, and that is consistency. Feeding is what anchors sleeping. So getting those calories in during the day does anchor the sleeping at night. This could mean with a breastfed baby, trying to add 5 more minutes onto those feedings during the day. If your doctor says that's developmentally appropriate. Usually this is around the 3 to 4 month mark. We also like to preach the dream feed. If you haven't heard that term before, that means if you put baby down to sleep about 7 p.m. and then you yourself want to go to bed around 10, 10:30, well, around that time, get baby up without really waking baby up. You might be able to sneak a diaper change if you think that's necessary, and then nurse the baby, or if you bottle feed, give maybe a couple extra ounces to get baby sleeping, a little bit more through the night. And also a predictable routine, that's swaddling, the wind down, singing those bedtime songs, reading those books. Get baby familiar with what is day and what is night. Babies do need a lot of sleep. We do have a chart on our website. It's going to be available on this presentation too, in the next slide, I think, that talks about how much sleep babies need at different stages. I'm not going to sit here and read the chart to you, but you can come back to this presentation later or visit letmommysleep.com and download this chart and print it out. We consulted the APA, what to expect, some of the other sleep experts, and pulled information from all those sources to get this chart. And I think we're up for the next slide. Oh, travel tips. So it's summertime, and travel, even if you have a baby that is sleeping very well at home, traveling makes it difficult. So we have a few tips that are going to ease travel time. Are they going to work 100%? Maybe, maybe not, but this can definitely help you. The first one, practice at home. If baby is used to sleeping just in that same crib, in that same bassinet, in that same co-sleeper, and everything is so rigid and you're not flexible, well, then when you take baby to the hotel and they're sleeping in that pack and play for the first time, then baby might become upset. So we like to say practice at home. Put baby down in the pack and play for nap time, or bring the pack and play to grandma's house and use it so baby's familiar with other sleeping environments. Keeping the bedtime routine. I have a friend that actually was on a week-long beach vacation and rented a full-size travel crib, but she brought baby's blankets from home, baby's sheet, baby's swaddle blanket, and the breathable bumper too, to kind of recreate that home environment. If you're doing the same books, the same songs, baby knows, oh, this is bedtime, or this is what we're used to. So it's not as unfamiliar. Another thing about vacation, yes, of course, you can't be on a rigid schedule, but if you can keep the bedtimes a little bit more manageable. Some parents actually do also like to travel at night to the destination. The only thing that we warn against with this is then the first day there, you might be extremely tired, so you might have to tag team with your partner back and forth to help care for baby. Car seats. If you feel baby is not sleeping well in the pack and play, we really do advise not to put baby in the car seat to sleep at night. Of course, if you're traveling and you're in the car and baby falls asleep in the car seat, that's fine. But if you're actually at your destination, you really should be using something like a crib or play yard for sleep. And the last thing is to slow down your expectations of the trip too. Don't fight baby's natural rhythm. I know that you want alone time with your partner, but it's going to be a lot more enjoyable for the whole family if you also go to bed when baby goes to bed a lot of times too. Babies also, everything's a new experience for them. They're not going to understand hours and hours of sightseeing, so you might have to lower your expectations for the trip. So I think we're open to some questions now about sleep. We have about, I think, 10 more minutes left, and I'm happy to answer some of the questions out there.
Great. Thank you so much, Michaela. I'm going to pose a couple to you first because they're actually pouring in. So I'm going to give people just another minute or two here to get all their questions registered. I have a couple comments and questions for you myself. I loved the practice before travel. I thought that was such a great tip. Easy to do even in your own house, just a couple of nights, getting used to the pack and play or whatever you might be using. And I liked that you made the comment about somebody that had a full-size crib when they were traveling. One of the tips that I would share that worked really well for my husband and I when our daughter was really young is that if you're going to be somewhere for an extended period of time, especially if it's anywhere in or near an urban area, you often can rent gear. And so we were able to rent a totally compliant, safe, full-size crib with a full-size crib mattress. And I can't even tell you what a difference that made over trying to do the pack and play for 5 or 6 or 7 nights somewhere.
We did that as well, and it was an amazing
so especially over a longer trip, it actually is pretty cost effective. And it's less gear to schlep around with you too. So I loved the practice before travel. One thing that I'm really curious about, I think we kind of went fast past the slide and would love to hear a little more from you, is about the idea of having your baby sleep in a swing or a bouncy seat. I think that people often, I remember as a new parent, people were like, oh my gosh, you have to get this little cradle, swing, bouncy, vibration thing. It's the only way my child would sleep, and I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on sleeping.
Well, I apologize. I can't see the slides, so I'm just going off my notes here. But yeah, a lot of those bouncy seats and swings have been recalled. That doesn't mean if baby is in it and falls asleep for a nap or a period of time when baby is supervised that you should take baby out of it. No, but sleeping at nighttime for a long, like 6-8 hour stretch, that is not recommended. We recommend swaddling and white noise, and but not too loud white noise, because there are actually now studies about that saying really, really loud white noise can be damaging to ears. But on our YouTube channel, we do have a video on how to swaddle a baby on youtube.com/LetMommySleepUSA, and that will show all different techniques, because a lot of times we do hear, oh, well, my baby doesn't like to be swaddled. Well, all newborn babies really do like to be swaddled. It's the parent that's not doing it correctly. And I'm actually a victim to that, too. With my first one, I gave up after a week of the swaddling, and it was because I couldn't do it.
That's great. A number of people have actually asked where they can get the Let Mommy Sleep YouTube channel. I know you just mentioned it again. I actually saw Denise Stern, your CEO, just posted the link on the YouTube page. So anyone that's watching this, if you hit refresh or refresh after the end of the presentation, you should be able to get that link from Denise on there.
Yeah, we have great videos on there, and those are our nurses that are providing educational, evidence-based videos. How much should I breastfeed my baby during the 3 months? How much should I bottle feed my baby during the first 3 months? Swaddling demo, burping demo, and a tummy time demo too, because we get a lot of babies that are, of course, fussy and hate tummy time. But because we're putting babies to sleep on their back, we still do need to strengthen those back and neck muscles during the day by doing the tummy time.
That's such a great resource.
Some really good tips on there.
That's awesome. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go to the questions. Tala asks, my 10-day-old sleeps much better when held than in a bassinet. How do I get him used to sleeping in the bassinet?
Much better. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Being held than in the bassinet.
Being held. Being held. Oh, I know. With those, a 10-day-old is a real newborn baby. But we just want to say consistency. Gradually put that baby down. Sometimes it is actually a temperature issue too, because babies falls asleep and is on your warm body, and then is being put down, and all of a sudden the temperature drops. Baby is colder too. We've heard leave your hand on the baby when you put baby down for a minute, and then kind of gently walk away. So I would try that and see if that works.
And this is how you create great memories as a parent, with things like putting the baby down in the bassinet and then trying to roll out of the room.
Yes.
Right? This is like those great parenting moments. This is where they come from. Okay, so the next question comes on. It's an interesting, similar question. How do I transition a baby from the bassinet to a crib?
If baby is already in a bassinet, then the transition shouldn't really be that hard. It's harder on the parent, I think, because if baby's in the bassinet, that means baby is sleeping in the same room as you. A lot of times, if baby's then transitioning to the crib, that really means baby's transitioning to his or her own room, and that is harder on the parent as well, because they're not right there next to you, hearing every single sound. I would transition during nap times first. So I would, stay, if possible, you can feed baby in the same room as the crib, so you don't have a big walk from feeding chair to crib, and then put baby in the crib for nap times. So baby associates crib with being a place of rest, and then eventually, bedtime as well. If you're using the same swaddle blankets, the same techniques that you're using during the other times, I don't think that the transition should be too hard, but definitely practice during the day first.
Great, thanks. Stephanie asks, how do you feel about the 90-minute sleep program? We use that for our baby. It works like a charm. And she also mentions, I find that baby wearing is great while traveling.
Baby wearing is awesome while traveling, so yes, that's a really good tip. The 90-minute baby sleep program.
Yeah, that's what she's referring
to. So there are a lot of different baby sleep programs on the market. Just like when you reach the next stage of potty training, you'll find books and books and books about that, boot camps, about that as well. Really, you have to do what is good for you, what you are comfortable with. You are the parent. It might take 100 times, but you're the one deciding. We like to say, like, if your toddler is asking you for candy 600 times a day, and it's not a day that you're going to, give that child candy, you're going to say no 600 times. The same thing with the babies in sleep. If you are wanting if baby is developmentally able to sleep through the night, the pediatrician thinks that nighttime feedings are no longer necessary, and you want baby to sleep in his or her own room for a longer period of time, you're going to have to be the one putting baby down. It might take a couple times. It might take, 2 weeks of it, but you have to do what works for you.
Absolutely. Next question comes from Toddler Mom. What are your recommendations for trying to catch some rest as a mom who's breastfeeding? It's hard to juggle the feeding on demand and getting adequate sleep.
I would try to consolidate your day feedings if you can. Again, and also try to introduce that dream feed. If you're doing around-the-clock, on-demand feeding, that is appropriate for babies, but around the 3-4 month mark, they don't need that anymore. And you can not, if your philosophy is that you don't want to set a real strict regimented schedule, then don't, but you can certainly do a more consistent schedule, and doctors can help with this as well, whether that's eating every 4 hours to every 5 hours. Maybe you want to do 3 or 4 hours during the day and try to get that extra nursing in, so then at nighttime baby isn't hungry, because really it is the feeding that anchors the sleep.
Great. Thank you so much. I think we've hit the end of our time on questions, and I just wanted to remind everyone that if you are watching this a little bit later and have any other questions, feel free to post them on the YouTube page. And Michaela and Let Mommy Sleep have been so generous as to offer to check back in on the page in the next day here and follow up with any questions that you have. We did have one person that asked for the PowerPoint. I do a post-event thank you email to all of you, and we'll make sure we include any materials. And of course, as Nicole mentioned in the beginning, the YouTube is archived, so as soon as now, you can actually rewind, pause on anything to look at slides and share it in any way that you need. But by all means, we'll send out additional information in that follow-up email. So Michaela, I just wanted to thank you. This was so helpful. I know we could have you talk for hours. There's so much good information, and Let Mommy Sleep is just a wonderful organization, as is Mission Sleep, and we're really appreciative that you were here today.
It was so great to be here, and please go on our website, letmommysleep.com. If you view all blog posts, we do have topics about everything from newborn care to travel to sleep, of course, our favorite topic, diapering. So you'll find a lot of good information, evidence-based information on there.
That's great. Excellent. Nicole, I'm going to turn it back over to you to give us our concluding remarks.
Great, thank you, Sarah. I just wanted to remind everyone about the comments, as Sarah said before. We love hearing from you, and we know that sometimes the best conversations take place after the webinar. So please leave your comments, leave your questions, and don't forget, you can share this link with any new or expecting mom that you think may benefit from this information. I know it was some great information for you today. We also want to talk to you about what is coming up for the next event. And that is going to be just in a few short weeks. Registration is going to open soon, I believe early next week, so you're not going to want to miss this, you guys, as I touched on a little bit earlier. If you are not already on our mailing list, you can sign up on the Motherhood Uncovered website. So August is Breastfeeding Awareness Month, if those of you who don't know. August 4th kicks off World Breastfeeding Week. We here at Motherhood Uncovered are going to be doing a couple of amazing giveaways and interviews with veteran moms to bring you a super exciting event. I am allowed to give you just a sneak peek and announce a couple of companies that are going to be contributing to the giveaway. Undercover Mama, Snuggabells Pump Ease, Belly Armor, Milk and Cookies, of course, Nizaware and Sarah Wells Bags, and many, many more, you guys. Remember, ladies, that you can gain more entries for any of our giveaways by liking and sharing our Facebook posts. You can leave comments on the YouTube page, as we said before, and make sure you are registered for our events. Sarah, do you want to tell us quickly about your contributions to the August 4th, or for your giveaway, your big event?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we are so excited. The month of August. So as Nicole said, August 1st through 7th is World Breastfeeding Week, and then in the United States, the whole month of August is National Breastfeeding Month. So there's just so much exciting things going on for both our small businesses and in the breastfeeding advocacy community. So a couple of things from Sarah Wells Breast Pump Bags. I actually have a calendar of events up on my Facebook page. So if you haven't checked it out, you can see all the things we're engaged in there. But we are doing the Epic Breastfeeding Giveaway and Twitter Party. The giveaway itself starts on August 1st. If you just check our Facebook page, you'll see all over the place how to get your entries in. Right now we have over $1,400 in breastfeeding and breast pumping products to give away to one lucky mom. So make sure that you enter that. And then on Tuesday, August 5th, from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, we're having the Epic Twitter Party to talk about all things breastfeeding and pumping, and I hope you'll join for that. Also, on Saturday, August 2nd, I'm going to be at MommyCon Boston with Acceleron Medical Products, and there are so many exciting things that MommyCon has in store for Breastfeeding Month, and I hope if there's any folks from New England listening in that you'll come on over to that event and stop by the Acceleron table. I'll be there myself. Would love to meet folks, and we're going to do some recordings, as Nicole said, of veteran moms and folks talking about breastfeeding, and then bring those to you on our Motherhood Uncovered event on Monday the 4th. So it really is an extravaganza. Very excited.
It sounds great, Sarah. I hope you are all excited as we are to bring this to you. And thank you again, as always, for joining us. We love presenting for you, and keep connected. Let us know what you think, and we look forward to talking to you next time. Thank you, everyone.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.